Howdy, y'all. On November 2nd, 2022, conservative media outlet PragerU began a site-wide advertisement campaign on Twitter for their new documentary, Detrans. This doc was plastered on the top of the trending page, a fuck you from Elon Musk to his transgender daughter. Now, given my frequent discussions on my main channel of both transgender rights and PragerU, I figured some people might be interested to hear my take on the doc. So, here you go. I don't think it's very good. In fact, I'd go so far as to call it bad. Bold take, I know. On a technical level, the doc's editors definitely watched some how to make an intense documentary YouTube video. The entire thing is full of close-ups of the detransitioners looking sad and grim, standing under storm clouds, rapid barrages of posts from trans people designed to promote the idea of some trans menace, and shitty-ass classical piano, cause it's not a serious documentary without a sad piano. As for the contents, the documentary comes in at a lean 20 minutes and has enough actual content to fill maybe 5. The main points are as follows. 1. There is a wave of trans self-identification sweeping the nation. 2. This is leaving behind a wake of broken, mutilated detransitioners. 3. There needs to be more medical intervention preventing people from seeking transition. I covered this all in my Trans Panic video, so go watch that if you want an actual breakdown. Really, what interested me enough to make this video wasn't the doc itself, but rather what it represents. I believe the detransitioner advocacy movement is the single most astroturfed political movement on the planet. Time and time again, we are told of the importance of listening to detransitioners. PragerU's camp talks about how important it is that detransitioners are telling their stories and are spending millions of dollars to advertise it. Detransitioners speak in the halls of Congress about the danger of being allowed to transition. But detransitioners of this nature do not exist on any significant level. There's a reason the doc points to numbers of people transitioning as opposed to numbers of people detransitioning. The detransitioner movement is propped up not because of some genuine groundswell of anger from countless numbers of detransitioners led astray by the tempting allure of big hormone, but because the right has deemed them a useful vehicle for attacking trans people. And so, the same cast of a dozen or so detransitioners is trotted out every few months in a new documentary that says the exact same thing as the last one. Both of the two, count 'em, 2 detransitioners featured in the PragerU doc have been on the detransitioner media circuit for a while now. In absence of any actual movement, or anything new to say, the right is just relying on bashing the public over the head with the same shit over and over again. There is nothing of note to say about the contents of this documentary because the contents of this documentary are not the point. The point is that centrists see yet another documentary has come out about the supposed wave of detransitioners, think, wow, this seems to be a real problem, and vote to take rights away from an at-risk minority group rather than use their brain for 2 seconds. If I seem bitter, it's because I am. There's 3 additional things surrounding this doc that I'd like to touch on. The first is this post from PragerU quote-unquote personality Aldo Badassoni, celebrating the doc hitting 4.2 million views. This tweet inspired me to actually give it a look, cause even if it's astroturf to shit, that's still pretty scary. But when I got to the website, it only had like 80,000. And, that's still not nothing. But for a corporation with millions of followers and a massive ad campaign behind this particular video, that still seems low. Eventually, I found out where the 4.2 million views figure came from. It's the views on the tweet promoting the video. And, it still sucks that so many people have seen the tweet, but come on, that's not the same thing and you know it. The second thing is that this doc fails my professional metric for if any discussion of detransitioners should be taken seriously. I call it the Ali London scale. Here's how it works. If Ali London is mentioned, you don't take it seriously. And right at the end of the doc, who is that? Oh, it's Ali London. Because, as we all know, the real victims of transition are white dudes that want to become Asian pop stars. The last thing I want to point out is that number. 2. A massive media outlet with millions of followers and tens of millions of dollars pooled its resources to find anti-trans detransitioners. They found 2. They take clips of a few more to get that number up to like 5. But it's minuscule relative to the anti-trans legislation they're claiming this group justifies. Throughout the doc, clips of trans people play, with the intent of making them seem like a dangerous contagion. But they're showing a number of happy trans people that their detransitioners pale in comparison to. I asked some of my followers on Twitter if they were happy with their medical transitions. And even with less than 800 followers, I still got more happy transgender people than PragerU could find detransitioners. I have sympathy with anyone who decides medical or social transition isn't right for them. The people in this doc, I think they're assholes, but I have sympathy for them. The thing is, though, the negative experiences of a few has never been and can never be a reason to force every trans person into misery. I guess this video is kind of a review, so I'll give the PragerU doc a 0 out of 10. It could have been bumped up to a 2, but they didn't feature me in the section of pro-trans advocates, so dog shit. I wouldn't even recommend watching it as sort of a you gotta understand the enemy deal, because it's not bringing anything new to the table. If you're active in trans circles online, you've already heard all of these talking points. Instead, what I would recommend you watch is my video, because I'm very silly. I'm like the silliest. And if you want all these talking points discussed and actually broken down, I can offer that. That's right, this whole review was just an excuse to promote myself. Did I do it? And as long as I'm finding ways to plug myself, donate to my Patreon, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'm like so silly and I deserve it. Bye!